Alright folks, let's get going here. Alright folks, let's go ahead and get started here. I think today we're going to go over, maybe, let's load. Anyways, I think today we're going to go over the helicopters I've made and the controls and how I do my controls for helicopters. Let's start off with the last one you guys saw, because there were some changes to the AH-1 Cobra that I've made since the last video I made of it, the very first video I made on this channel. As things are a little bit different here, I see I missed a couple of blocks there. Okay, let's add those in real quick. Alright, fix that. Alright, so you see I added some decals to it, added some shield blocks to it. Looks like I missed the underside. Changed the tail around a little bit. We used masks instead of the half rounded pieces. We added a anchor pin here to lock into that. Gives almost more stability. Added the winglets that I missed last time right there. We spaced the rockets out a little bit. Added another one of these rounded block there and a wedge 2x2. We also increased the distance from basically the length of the body by 2 pegs. I guess you guys want to call these pegs. I don't know, what do you want to call these little yellow dots? Pegs? Sure, that works. And we lengthened the tail by, I think, 4 actually. Okay, so here's a look at that. The Gatling gun now has a servo. Connected to the servo there, you can see that. A little bit open on the bottom there. That's alright, not a big deal. The pilot seat is the rear seat. The gunner seat is the front seat. Gunner does have control of all the weapons. So let's get into the controls of this one. You saw me build it, so we have one helicopter engine that counter rotates for this one. Let's delete some side panels here. Move things around. Open this thing up. Alright, so we've got a host of different tail rotors now. We've got 4 tail rotors in this box, in this thing here. More blocks. We have our configure. We have our speed sensor, which controls the hover, connected to all the tail rotors and the helicopter engines there. Our NOR gate is attached to our hinge blocks. Why isn't it showing those hinge blocks? Oh, because they're not attached to anything. Haha, that's right. So those are connected to the hinge blocks. Let's attach some things here so we actually get some looks at how things are done. How things are attached here. Move these blocks back over to here. There, now everything's attached on this side except for our wing right there, which that's attached to that. That's no big deal. So let's do this. Okay, here. There you go. So that's attached to the hinge blocks there. Hinge blocks are set whatever angle you want to make your creation look good to you. A lot of this is kind of eyeballing it. We have our gyro stabilizers. Oh, didn't do that right. Let's, come on. Select it. There we go. Alright. Gyro stabilizers. We got 3 of those in the pitch and roll. Here's all our gyro stabilizers. A multiple number of those. We have steam roll. We have a another roll that will actually strafe the helicopter back and forth. We have, I believe, 6 that are set with no controls at max strength. That helps stabilize it. There's another one for our yaw. Yaw is a twisting motion of the helicopter. Roll would be the left and right, and then pitch would be your forward and backward. So here's all controls for the AH-1 Cobra. Good look at the inside here. See what I did there. I see the thing still flies very nicely. Let's load it in as a whole build, and you can see how well it does fly. Now I do use a controller, so that does help out a lot. Fairly stable hover. It's hard to get these things pretty perfect. You can see there's a little bit of drift. Not too bad. Very agile. Rocks, I believe I set at a 0.1 delay going across, so the staggered. One side's at 0, the other side's at 0.1, and then it goes 0.2, 3, 0.4, and 0.5. Back and forth between the winglets there. Gun. Now we'll land here. I'll show you what I mean by the gunner has. Ooh, perfect landing. So I have the front seat here. See that? No controls of the helicopter. I can't really do anything. We can aim this gun left and right. Alright, and we can still fire the rockets. So there's the updates we did with the Cobra since the last video. I'll probably add shield blocks to the bottom there because he wants to get shot at the bottom. Next helicopter we're going to do is the Apache I made here. So this one you can see, AH-64 Apache. We have, let's count the helicopter engine blocks. There's all those ones. I see another one there. Let's get these up a little bit more. This is what I'm talking about when you build your helicopters. You're going to use multiple helicopter engines to counter-rotate the torque of the main rotor. These go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 spoilers out on this one. So in order to counteract all that torque, you need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counter-rotating helicopter engines. So this one's set at speed 10. Those are negative 10. Sometimes you'll find that playing with the speed of the rotor will also help. So there's the rotor blocks there. Let's open up the side of this thing so you can see the controls. If you notice that the rotors on this one are on a hinge, set to angle of 5, pitching forward. That's, if you look at photos of Apaches, they actually do have a pitch forward on the blades like that. Let's get out of here and let's open up a side of this thing here. We're going to go right about there. Alright, open this up. Yeah, I mentioned before they used a number of tail rotors to help with the lift of the vehicle. You saw I had 4 in the AH-1. Set that right there. Alright. Okay, let's move around. Controls are a little bit different when you use a controller. So this helicopter we are using. See, it's 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 tail rotors on this one here. There's a tail. As you can see, I got 2 hinges there and 2 hinges there to make that angle the way we want it to. I wish we can go lower than 5 degrees. You know, it'd be nice if we can do like 1 or 2 or 3 degrees. That would be amazing on that. Here's an XOR logic gate. Where does this go to? I don't even know what that goes to. Why is that there? Who knows? It's there for a reason. I don't know why. Random block. Interesting. The angle sensor controls our tail back here. See, I got tail, so when the helicopter pitches forward, this tail will drop down a little bit and help maintain a stable flight. Here's all our gyros. So a number of gyros for the pitch, roll, and yaw, and strafing. And so some are just a single input. Instead of left and right, we have just the right input on this one. And yes, I know that's backwards. Ignore that. I believe all these are probably backwards. That's alright. Same thing with our yaw control. That is to counteract the force when the helicopter takes off. They want it to roll in one direction, so and since it does that, we had to add some gyros into it to counteract that. Here they are right there. So 2 gyro stabilizers in this one. That keeps it pretty flat and level. But you noticed, I did notice when I was flying around, it wanted to roll stronger one way than the other way. So to counteract that, we add a gyro with a single input to strengthen the other side. So you get an even roll, an even yaw, an even strafe. Helps to control that. You'll see that these gyros are at the same angle as, or sorry, these hinges, same angle as these hinges here, and that allows it to hover fairly well. Oops, we don't want to do that. We're going to delete all these blocks, we'll load it back up again, and we'll take it around for a test flight here. These are obviously all very decently sized creations. What do you mean by the pitch of the helicopter? There's a pitch of the blades there. This one requires a little more input than the AH-1 Cobra. It does want to pitch forward a little bit slightly as we can get into a pretty stable hover here. With a very minimal input of the control stick. Forward flight, pretty stable. See what I'm talking about by that rear wing when I go flat. It flattens out. When I go forward, it goes forward too. Basic controls, just the angle sensor set for the desired angle you want, with the desired outputs you want. Machine guns, Gatling guns, rockets and the bumper keys. Again, with the keyboard, things would be a little bit different. This one does fly fairly well. I'm going to show you the gunner seat on this one. On this one, I have the pilot seat in the front and the gunner seat in the back. Gunner seat's back there. So the gunner seat doesn't have a controller helicopter. The trigger controls the front. This is the front turret with a smart cannon. Not a smart cannon, a mini cannon. Obviously you can look up and down whichever way you want. Oh, that'd be weird. And then I believe the left trigger I have set for the main turret underneath, which we can obviously rotate up, down, all around. And we can aim down with this one too. So that is the gunner seat on this one. Alright, let's move on to the next one. So those are the two main attack helicopters I have. The other ones are not, like the OH-58 Kiowa. So this one is similar in design. We have the mast for the tail. This one I used a piston to help draw it up. Same winglets. This one does have operating doors, as you can see. The doors do open up on this one. We have some room for some passengers in there, 5 total. And this made it a little more difficult to stack in the tail rotors. You can hear them in there. So it flies a little bit differently. So this one, the strafe control I have is set a little bit differently. I'm using the bumper keys to allow it to strafe back and forth. And you can see over there what I'm talking about. So this strafe is a lot stronger than this side. It's similar. You get a lot stronger pull to that side. And if you counteract them, so you hit the left arrow key and the right joystick, you get this. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong button. Ah, I have to do this on the bumpers. Alright, so let's do right bumper and left arrow. You get a pretty stable spin. Alright, let's land the same. I'll show you the controls on this one. Alright, let's get the side open here. Alright, so here's our tail rotors. Let's load these out. So there's 6, 7 on this one. Gyro stabilizers, we have 3 in the roll direction, 2 in the pitch direction. Gyro blocks. There's our gyro blocks right there. So we have 2 yaws. I have a number of strafing ones. Remember, the LB and RBs are your strafing ones. There's your single input to counteract the forces. Here's for turning and roll. And here's your pitch. This one doesn't have any stabilizing gyros in it like the other ones do. Speed sensor for the hover. Here's how the doors look on the inside. Hinge blocks allow things to close and open smoothly. Distance sensor, the altitude sensor there is just there so I can see if I was getting a stable hover. So that's the OH-58 Kiowa. And now let's go to the next one, which is the OH-58 Kiowa D, the more combat version. This one's almost the same. We added some miniguns and some rockets on it and these little pods. You know what would be cool? If they added the ability for rockets to fire underwater. I hope they do that next, because that would be a game changer for submarines, wouldn't it? Alright, so same amount of... Actually, no, I think I have more tail rotors in this one, because I was able to fit more. So let's find out how many tail rotors do I have. Oh yeah, that's definitely more. There's your 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on this one. 10 tail rotors. Your helicopter engines. This one uses 1 main and 3 counter-rotating, looks like. The gyro blocks. Let's go up higher so you can actually see what the heck's going on here. So here's your gyro blocks. Here's your pitch, your roll, and your yaw. And there's a stabilizer right there. There's your pitch stabilizer. There's the other one. XOR logic gate is for something, I don't know what. Got an input in it. And then this one didn't need a roll. Oh no, there they are, right up there. Ha! There's your roll gyros right there. This one needed 3 roll gyros and 2 pitch gyros in order for this one to fly nicely. Obviously, no passenger compartment because we didn't need it for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and delete all this. I'll show you how this guy flies. Kiowa Warrior. This one does not have the gunner seat. Load in nicely, would you? There it goes. Alright. So this one still has pretty decent hover. We have our strafing left and right. This one uses the arrow keys so we don't have the doors to open up there. Alright. We got the guns and the rockets. Those are on the bumper keys. Still pretty agile. I wouldn't say this is as agile as the Cobra or the Apache. It still flies very nicely. Now the next one I have 2 different versions of it as well, but it's just a complexity thing. It's the UH-60 Seahawk, or Blackhawk, if you will. Seahawk is the naval version of the Blackhawk. The only difference between the two really is that the Seahawk, the tail folds, allowing it to be stored in the hangar bay of a aircraft carrier. So here's the 700 complexity Blackhawk / Seahawk, if you will. This is a beefy boy. Let's go flying real quick with this thing. So you got the one side gun there. And the one thing I like about trailer makers is the bigger something is, like this, it flies a lot differently. Controls are completely different for this as it is for the other helicopters I have. It's not as nimble. Still, they fly as well. It will hover with some minimal inputs. Yeah, once again, strafing left and right. Very minimal input, and it does hover pretty decently. Let's land this sucker, and you can see how I did the controls on this one. 10-point landing. Alright. Let's open up one of these sides here so you can see what the heck you're looking at. Ah, the frames. There go the frames. There we go. Alright. So this guy here, let's put the bottom back in place so we can actually somewhat connect some of these things. Alright. Move this further out of the way here. So obviously I go through sometimes and I add things in after the fact. So here are your roll gyros. Don't believe I have any pitch gyros on this one. All the tail rotors to assist in lift. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on this one. 12 tail rotors to assist on this one. So your gyros. Pretty decent block of gyros here. You have your yaw for your turning. Here's your yaw for your strafing. More strafing yaw. Here's all your turning yaw. And your pitch. Helicopter engines we have. See, there's one there on the main blades. Helicopter engine. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, these ones are all set. That one's set to 9.5. So if I had that one set at 10, it would want to torque the way that these ones were turning. So by setting it down to 9.5, I kept it stable and kept it from spinning. A speed sensor there, that's our speed sensor for our hover. And so the other one I have actually has working doors. And I'm not going to load up the complexity mod right now. Oh, that's the same one. That's the same one. So where's our other guy here? So you have a number of jets and other things here. There's our UH-60 Black Hawk with our working doors. Open. And the cool thing about this one is these Gatling guns, these miniguns, won't fire unless you have the doors open. So those are the two UH-60s. Last helicopter I have is the Chinook. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I did need to fix something on this, so let's go and do that real quick. I noticed that the rear door doesn't shut all the way. So we're going to pull this in because we're at max complexity already with this guy. And we'll move these hinges in. So this thing flies like a freaking bear. Like you can tell the difference. Hold the number of Sherpos. Tail rotors are in the roof. Right there, because the whole roof of this thing is, well, it's a big open helicopter. There's not a lot of room to hide things. What I did hide, though, is the controls. So we'll go, nope, we want to go, you can kind of see them in there. So here's controls. I added these in after the fact, after I built it, obviously. We have roll gyros, we have pitch gyros, stabilizers. Here's some gyros for the roll, gyros for yaw, gyros for yaw, and I have some more up in the front here. More gyros up in there. You can see I did still maintain my helicopter engine, so there's 3 rotating, counter-rotating for one main rotating one. But since this is a counter-rotating blade, so the front and rear blades counter-rotate, those automatically cancel as forces out. But it looked kind of silly having just one blade on the big stack there. So let's go and give this a fly. So the door shuts a lot better now. I'm happy with that. Alright. So this one here, pretty stable hover. If I hit the right arrow and then the bumper button, I can do some lifting. Got that almost in the center of mass. It's a little slow to respond, this one is. So It does have... This one does not have strafing, actually, I don't believe. Definitely not as fast as the other helicopters. CH stands for cargo helicopter. Let's give you guys a first person. There we go. So can we land this sucker like this? Let's find out. Use my windows so I can get closer to the ground. I say that's a successful landing. What do you say? Open the door. Let's hop out. And let's walk out the back. That is the CH-47. Alright guys, appreciate you coming back and hanging out with me. Maybe next time I'll go over some of the aircraft I have here. See, I've got a few. Harrier was a hard build, I'll tell you that much. I got some construction equipment I can go over if you guys want me to. If you want to see me go over any of my builds and show you how I did them, more than happy to. Got a few here. Excavators, some race cars. Some things that are not finished, like this guy here. Didn't finish him. So if you like what you see, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.